What's up, YouTube? For today's video, we're with full Oddish evolution team. We've got Oddish, Gloom, Vileplume, and Bellossom. I think out of these four Pokemon, my favorite is Bellossom. I don't know, I just really like its design. It's super cool. Now, if you do want to check me out on Twitch, people, this is where I do all my live streams for my theme teams and Pokemon Leaves, Shining Hunts, all other forms of salty entertainment. Give me a check out there. The link is in the description of the video. Today, I thought I'd add an additional battle. Sorry, had to do it. For your entertainment. Get it, people? An additional battle. Anyway, I'll get to it. This is a battle against Akina Umbreon, and we've got a very interesting team here. So we've got a Bellossom League, which is really cool because I've got an Oddish evolution team. So I've got Oddish versus Bellossom. Now, the only thing about this Oddish set, it's not really going to now do like much damage. Let me run you over. We've got a mix set, Sunny Day, Solar Beam, Flail, and Endure. Now, I've got max attack, and I've got max speed, and I've got chlorophyll, right? What I'm going to be doing, right, is setting up the Sunny Day, but the Bellossom is going to be setting up a Sunny Day, so it's a disaster already, people. So I kind of had to waste a turn there. I mean, I had no idea what the Bellossom was going to do, right? Now, Bellossom is going to go for Giga Drain, so it can't do, obviously, a lot of damage to Oddish either. And Oddish is not going to take a lot from that. Now, I've got Silk Scarf as the item, and I've got Flail. Obviously, the lower amount of health I get, Flail gets stronger and stronger and stronger. I was contemplating running Sword Dance in this set, but I had another Sword Dance set already, so I didn't really want to double up on that. And I thought it might be interesting to have like a mix one there. So Flail is doing no damage at all. Bellossom is not doing a lot of damage to me. Then it critted me with the Giga Drain. So this is going to be my last Flail to go for here. Now, it would have worked beautifully if my opponent didn't have a chlorophyll set either. So obviously Bellossom's chlorophyll because it is outspeeding, right? Now Bellossom's going to pop a Moonlight in the sun there, and it's going to be healing itself all the way up there, which is unfortunate. So Oddish's damage that it did early with Flail is going to be healed. So I'm just going to keep going for Flail here. I've got absolutely nothing to lose, and the sun is going to disappear. Now Bellossom is going to set the sun up again. My team is actually kind of based around sun, which is good, but in this case, like, Bellossom isn't a Pokemon I can hit really hard outside of like a poison type move, right? So going for yet another Flail on the Bellossom, and Bellossom is going to go for Giga Drain, and Oddish is going to faint. But man, there's nothing I really could have done with this Oddish set, right? I tried to do something difficult with a mix set instead of running like just a pure special attacking set or a pure physical set. Next Pokemon we got here is Gloom. This is an Everlight Gloom. It's very, very bulky. I've got this one as a max health and a max special defense set. So I know that Bellossom will not be able to do anything to me, or even if it's, let's say it's got Quiver Dance, it's going to need a lot of boost to even, you know, do any damage to me here. So this is a Toxic Infestation Venoshock set, which works really, really well, and it's also got Leech Seed too. Leech Seed, obviously, I can't use in this situation, but I can go for Toxic and then hit it with a double base power Venoshock, which will do a lot of damage. Even though I don't have any special attack EVs, it will do like heaps, just purely off, like, based off the, the base power of the move there. And Gloom's special attack isn't actually all that bad either. So now I can go for Venoshock here, and finally I'm going to be able to take out the annoying Bellossom there. But I thought it was pretty funny that the first spell I had was a team with Bellossom in there. So bye-bye Bellossom. Now the next Pokemon to come in is going to be the Slowking. I was like, oh, this is bad too. This is very bad. Like, Slowking's actually very, very nice counter for this team because just off its typing, right? So setting up the Leech Seed here, now it's going to set up a nasty bomb. Like, oh, this is bad because if this has got Trick Room, even let's say it doesn't even have Trick Room, it's still going to be very, very difficult to get around. Now, I can't poison it. I can go for Venoshock, but it's going to do nothing. Leech Seed is really my only other move. Now, the other move I forgot to say it was Strength Sap. That was the fourth move that I had there. I probably said another move, but it was Strength Sap. Strength Sap was really good. That's why I ran Max Health, Max Special Defense. So, say if a physical attacker came in there, I could simply go for Strength Sap and drop their attack, and it'd be super, super bulky. So, Gloom is going to withstand that Eerie spell, which was amazing, like that amazing special bulk there on Gloom. And it's going to get a little bit of damage there with the Leech Seed. So Leech Seed is doing some really nice damage. If I can soften this Slowking up and get it within range to take out with maybe one of my other Pokemon like Vileplume or Bellossom, that'll be really, really good. Now they're going to keep setting Nasty Blots up continually there. I'm wondering if they've actually got Trick Room or like they've got a way to go first, because they are setting up a lot of stats there. Was like a, easily probably take out my last two Pokemon, aside from the maybe not the Gloom, right? Now I can see why they're going for it, because they've got Quick Claw as done. They went for a Disrespect Surf on Gloom. Gloom lived it on 4 health, right? And now I'm going to go for a Venoshock. I'm like, this is going to be like kind of close here. So go for Venoshock there, and I get some nice damage. I got a crit. I was like, wow, you know, I think this is going to be enough to nearly take it out. It's going to be very, very close. So getting some more Leech Seed here, and it's very, very close, but I don't think the next Venoshock will take it out here. I need to get another crit. I already got a crit before, so the chances of that were very, very slim. But guess what? I got 2 crits in a row there, and Slowking went down. They tried to go for the Disrespect Surf and failed. Man, they've got to be salty after that. Next Pokemon to come in is going to be Magni, the Magnemite. Has anyone picked up on this theme team? Or maybe it's not a theme team. It may just be random nicknames. I'm going to pop up that Leech Seed here, and Magnemite is going to go for the Flash Cannon and take out my Gloom. But man, Gloom was able to tank. I think that was almost was that a +6 Surf? I think it tanked there. Like a +4 is like a very, very powerful special attacker there. So I managed to tank that, which is crazy. So going to Vileplume now, and when you Disrespect KO someone, you got to make sure it's going to take them out. So I've got Sword Dance, Drain Punch, Sunny Day here, and it's a physical set, which is going to work pretty nicely, right? So getting that Sword Dance up, it should be free real estate against a Magnemite, and now Magnemite is going to go for a Zap Cannon. Not only does it do like a good chunk of damage to me, it automatically paralyzes me on the spot. Now, I am going to get some Leech Seed there. I don't know whether this is sturdy. If it is sturdy, well, it's sturdy is now gone, right? Now, I'm not sure. I have to get very, very lucky. I was thinking maybe I should Dynamax. It's like, nah, I'm paralyzed. That's going to be a bad idea because you never know what's going to happen. And as soon as I was thinking that, right, the Magnemite became the Dynamax Pokemon. So here you go, people. Only on PIMPNITE channel, we got a Dynamax Magnemite here. That's about the size of I don't know. It's about the size of a Magneton, I reckon. Maybe a little bit smaller, but that looks really, really cool. Look at that big bolt. Anyway, we got a Max Lightning coming from the Magnemite here, and they're going to put the Electric Terrain in the field. Now, the next one is going to hit me very, very hard. It will take me out easy, right? Also, if I had any sleeping moves, I wouldn't be able to do anything to Magnemite either, right? So my best move here is to go for Drain Punch. That's my fighting move, and it does a very, very good sizable chunk of damage there. And, that's there for Max Knuckle 2 on Vileplume, right? And for getting, health back. So what's going to happen there, I'm going to get a little bit of Leech Seed damage on Magnemite. It's not actually far off going down, so I think I might be able to actually live this and take the Magnemite out, right? So here comes the Max Lightning there, and I do live, all thanks to Drain Punch. And now Magnemite is going to go down to Drain Punch there, which is great, and I didn't get paralyzed there, so that was very, very fortunate. And of course, that critical hit didn't matter there. So bye-bye Magneton, and bye-bye their Dynamax Pokemon too. However, I've only got 2 Pokemon left, and Vileplume, I mean, it's got a +2, sure, but it is paralyzed. So next Pokemon to come in here is going to be Golurk. It's like, okay, well, I can go for a Grass type move. Let's go for Dynamax. So let's do that, right? Dynamax Vileplume to finish off the Golurk, hopefully. Now, this was a 4v4 battle too, so when I do these battles, obviously I go in with sometimes not 6 Pokemon. I don't expect my opponents to bring 4 ever, so sometimes I bring 6, sometimes I bring 4, so it's pretty interesting when you do get a 4v4. Golurk's got Fly you wouldn't read about, so it gets around my Grass move, right? So Max Overgrowth is going to miss. And that's fine. Then I went for Max Guard, right? And then I got paralyzed. And then Golurk hit me with a Fly Ride, and it took my Vileplume out. You wouldn't believe it. So Vileplume is going to fate right there, and I've only got 1 more Pokemon left. And no Dynamax either. So I've got Bellossom as our last Pokemon. Now, this is a Quiver Dance Sleep Powder set. I can't use Sleep Powder because there's... you wouldn't read about it, right? There's 1 turn of Electric Terrain left. I can't do that. So all I've got is Giga Drain. I could go for Quiver Dance here, but I'm just going to attack the Golurk. I felt like it's going to be a 2-hit KO anyway. So Giga Drain does about as much as I thought it would do. Golurk is going to fly in there. It's like, okay, this Golurk's probably going to be no guard, right? So there's no chance it's going to miss. So Electric Terrain goes bye-bye. Obviously a turn too late right there. I had nothing to do this turn because Golurk was flying in the air. They're rocketing in the air. Going for the Quiver Dance here so I can make my special attack a little bit stronger. Not that it matters. It's a 2-hit KO. Golurk uses Fly, and it does not take my Bellossom out. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take the Golurk out with the Giga Drain, and that, my friends, is the very first battle. Wow, that was crazy right there. And Bellossom is going to get lots and lots of health back there. So thank you for the battle, Akini Umbreon. A very, very cool team right there. And that was pretty interesting there. But look, the bulkiness of that Gloom, that was crazy. And then the Goldet getting around the Vileplume Dynamax from flying into the Paralyze. That was super incredible. Let's get on to the second battle. This battle was against Cop Myset. And what troll team are we going to have today? Once again, this was a 4v4 too. Now, this is a very bad matchup. We had a Honedge lead versus Oddish, right? And I can tell you what, I need some auditional luck right here. All I had right, as you know, was Solar Beam. Flower wasn't going to do monkeys at all, right? I did do a monkey team yesterday, or the day before, by the way. So setting that set up, Chlorophyll is flowing nicely. The Honedge is going to go for a Sword Dance here, boosting its attack by 2 stages. Now, I'm not sure if it's got any priority moves like Shadow Sneak. I just have to attack and do as much damage as possible, right? So I'm going to shake my leaves there, back and forth there. And I didn't think Solar Beam would do, very much damage at all there. But I thought it maybe a 3-hit KO, right? And I was about right, 3-hit KO. Honedge's, special defense isn't that great yet. So here comes a Night Slash. It's a critting set. Oddish managed to live only because it wasn't a crit. And I can get a second Solar Beam here off against the Honedge. Now, Honedge will live this, but I think Oddish did a pretty good job there. That's the best I, could have possibly ever done there. I don't... Maybe a crit would have taken out when being extremely close. Then the Honedge, right, this is a disrespect KO, has got Solar Blade. So we had Solar Beam and Solar Blade, right? Solar Blade is going to activate because the sun's up. Look at this animation coming from the Honedge. And I'm going to get disrespect KO'd. I mean, I'm salty about that. I've got to get the Honedge back, right? So we're going to go into Vileplume here. I'm thinking, right, I might be able to set Sword Dance up against this, but I might get hit by a Night Slash. I got to risk it, right? So Vileplume's going to go for Sword Dance here, getting a juicy +2 in attack. So things are looking pretty good. What is Vileplume doing at the moment? Not sure what it's doing. Anyway, so here comes another Night Slash here. It's a 2-hit KO. Once again, it didn't get a crit, so I was happy about that. Speaking of crits, we're going to go for a Razor Leaf crit here on the Honedge, and that is enough to take it up. Oh, my item on Vileplume, if you were wondering, it was a Scope Lens. So that increases the crit chance by 1 stage, and we've also got Razor Leaf having a crit chance as well. Next Pokemon is the Runerigus. I'm going to go for Razor Leaf, hoping I can get a crit there. Look at that damage. Beautiful, beautiful damage. No crit, sadly. And here comes a Dragon Pulse. I was like, okay, it's a fully special Runerigus. That did nothing, right? Then the Runerigus, it's a troll set, has a Custard Berry, activates it, and gets the Destiny Bond off beforehand. Oh, you wouldn't read about it, people. Anyway, my Vileplume is going to be attacking the... Actually, amazingly, if that missed, that would have been so funny, but it didn't. So, Runerigus is going to faint right there, and of course, I am too. But imagine if that missed. That would have been some pure salt right there. Anyway, Vileplume is going to faint, bye-bye, and so is Runerigus. So, I've been trolled twice now. Third Pokemon here we got is Gloom. So, Gloom is pretty thick. And I had a good feeling about this. Now, the next Pokemon to come out is going to be Berserker. Then I had a bad feeling about this because it's a Steel type. As you know, this team really, struggles against Steel types. When you take Hidden Power out of the equation, it's nasty, right? So the only thing I could do is set up the Leech Seed and cross my... Does it have fingers? Cross my fingers. And it's just like a little... It doesn't even have hands. It's just like a... Actually... Wait, I just looked like... When you look... Okay... Trust me on this one for a second. When you look at Gloom right now, its arm looks like a pickle. It does. Like it's just a round, long green thing. So anyway, back to the battle. I'm going to drop the stats of this Berserker right now. Now, this is a special Berserker. It's boosting up its special attack like it's its last day on Earth, right? Now, what I'm going to do is I can just keep going for Strength Sap over and over and over and over again. That's all I can do. Just wait for Leech Seed to do some damage. I can't use Toxic. I can't use Venoshock. I'm sure as hell not swapping into my Bellossom, right? This thing is stacked right now. So all I can do is just sort of do as much damage as possible, then maybe bring on my Bellossom. I could put it to sleep and set up a Quiver Dance, something like that, right? At least I've done a little bit of damage to it, so I was happy about that. So here comes the inevitable Steel Beam. Now, Steel Beam will do some nasty recall to Berserker, but Gloom is going to be no more after that. I mean, Gloom was very, very bulky on the special side, but after getting hit by Steel Beam at +6, there was no hope, or +5, that it was going to live, right? So Berserker, unfortunately, is going to live on a little bit of health. Sleep Powder lands, and Berserker is going to be closing its little peepers. Look at them, just on command right there. Now, there is a Leech Seed on the field. I was kind of hoping, right, that the Berserker would live on 1 health, and then I could go for a Quiver Dance while it's sleeping and get like a free real estate Quiver Dance, but unfortunately, the Berserker is going to faint there. But it's okay, at least it's gone. Last Pokemon is going to be the Thundurus. And man, I was like, okay, I could use Sleep Powder, but I got a nasty feeling here that my opponent may try and go for electric type move just to dodge the Sleep Powder, right? Because I'd already like exposed it earlier on. Now we got a Dynamax Thunderous here. I chose not to Dynamax this turn because I felt like if I needed a Quiver Dance up, right? I needed that extra speed boost, that extra offense, right? So Bellossom is going to be going second here. It's a physical set here, and Max Knuckle doesn't really do a lot of damage, but I definitely don't want to get hit by another one outside of if I'm not in Dynamax, right? So now I'm thinking here, well, we both got a stat boost each. I've got a +1 in speed and special attack, and special defense. I don't know whether the special defense one is going to matter because it's at the moment, it's looking like it's going to be a physical set. So I thought, right, well, I can go for Dynamax here, then I can go for Max Guard. That'll stall out one of the Thunderous's Dynamaxes, and then it's only got one left. So then I might be able to land an attacking move on it if I'm able to deliver its next attack, outside of Dynamax. It's not going to be nowhere near as bulky, right? So Bellossom is going to have its Dynamax here. I've lost a bit of probably a third of my health. Go for Max Guard, and here comes another Max Knuckle. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can go for I was thinking here, maybe I should just go for the Max Zoos, get a special attack boost. I've got +2 then. That should do a lot of damage. Now, Max Knuckle's not going to do much there. However, now it's got a +2 in attack, which is, a fair whack in your attack rate. So go for the Max Zoos here on the Thunderous. Now I'm going to have a +2. It does very, very underwhelming damage. However, this is Thunderous's last turn of Dynamax. So, and I'm going to be at +2 now. So this is going to do a lot of damage. It actually will, right? So Thunderous is going to obviously resist my grass type move. It's popped a Hammer Arm, and I lived. I was like, yes, this is good. That means I can actually outspeed it the next turn, right? It's still outspeeding me with the Quiver Dance up. And unfortunately, the White Herb kicks in and heals its speed drop. Oh, and then it lived on like the smallest amount of health from my Maxus, and that is my last turn of Dynamax here. Now, I'm wondering if it's going to go for a Hammer Arm. Hammer Arm could miss here, right? And then they popped the Weather Ball. It's a disrespect Weather Ball because it's only 50 base power and it's normal. Man, that was almost three disrespect KOs right there. And that, my friends, is the second battle with the Oddish Evolution team. Thank you for the battle, Cop Meister, you little troll. Let's get on to battle number 3 here. I added an additional battle on, like I mentioned at the start. This is the battle against Jordan, and now we got another 4v4. So all of these are 4v4, which is really cool. Now the first Pokemon we got here is going to be the Whimsicott, and it definitely doesn't have Prankster ability, right? Now Whimsicott, I wasn't scared of this Pokemon at all. I mean, the funny thing is Oddish had no poison type moves, which is interesting, but they're going to swap anyway, obviously expecting a poison type move. Now, the next Pokemon to slide in here is going to be Galvantula. So Galvantula is probably going to set up Sticky Web, and I'd say it's probably going to go for Bug Buzz, right? So setting up Sunny Day there, which is nice. I actually got to do it myself this time. Now, my options here are as follows. I either go for the Endure or expect the Sticky Web. I rolled the dice and went for Endure here, and they indeed did go for a Bug Buzz, which is great, because that's going to put Oddish on 6 health, pretty much close to, like 1 health there. So go for the Flail at maximum base power with the Silk Scarf. It wasn't enough to take out the Galvantula, but boy, it did some really good damage. So I was very, very happy about that. I mean, if I had 1 stat boost in attack with that Flail, it would have done like so much more, right? Anyway, bring in Vileplume right now. This Vileplume is also a Chlorophyll set. Setting that Sword Dance up right here. Now, I tried to run all the abilities on the Oddish Evolution line, so the Gloom was a stench set, and there was also the Bellossom as well there, right? So go for Razor Leaf here. We're going to go for Razor Leaf and take this Galvantula out. So bye-bye Galvantula. I was actually a little bit worried about a miss there, but thankfully it didn't happen. Now, the only bad thing here, the sun is going to wear out, so I'm not going to have a speed boost, but I don't think I've got much of a worry because the Palisand has slid into the battle right here. It's salty sand. So go for Razor Leaf here, hoping for a big crit. That was underwhelming damage. I know for a fact that wasn't a crit, and now, right, it's going to have a weakness policy. It's a disaster. So now Palisand is going to go for a Sludge Bomb here. It's got +2 in special attack, and Vileplume got dropped there. Nothing I could do at all, so bye-bye Vileplume. Now I thought, well, there's no point swapping on Bellossom because Sludge Bomb's going to one-shot me. Let's go into Gloom here and set the Leech Seed up. I feel like I should be able to attack this Palisand's attacks, right? Let's see how much damage it's going to do. Now, Palisand is going to pop a Shadow Ball here. This would be one of its strongest attack, right? I lived that. Look how well I lived that. Now, with the Leech Seed activation, right, every single turn, I could potentially live like 4 to 5 Shadow Balls here. Like, it's really, really good run. So I thought, well, I'll make my stand here and go for Leech Seed and Toxic. If they want to swap their Palisand out there, they're going to be on a low amount of health. They're going to lose their special attack boost, and it's going to be dead weight, right? So I thought they may just stay in there and try to attack me, right? So I'm going to get some more Leech Seed health recovery here. Leech Seed is doing nicely. And Salty Sand is going to be fainting the next turn anyway there. I was just going to go for Venom Shock to attack the Palisand, anyway. That was the, idea here. So we had that, and then I thought, you know what? Instead of attacking it, let's go for Strength Sap. Let's get my health back there from the Palisand. And I'm going to get all my health back there. They will hit me with another move, but it's going to be more health than I would have had if I didn't go for Strength Sap. Like, say I didn't go for that, right? I would have probably nearly fainted there. Like, I would have been on a low amount of health. So that worked out very, very nicely. So, bye-bye Salty Sand. Now, there's 2 Pokemon left here. There's a Whimsicott, which I really don't care about at all. You know what? I could just go for Venoshock against the Whimsicott, but I don't believe even that should be enough to take it out. So Whimsicott coming in. Now, this, I think there was a little mistake in my recording here. They used a status move and a missed, and then I went for Toxic, right? So there was a little, when I was chopping up the battle, there was a little bit of a glitch on the screen there, and it sort of corrupted my recording. But that is what happened. They used a status move and a miss. I went for Toxic, then they went for Tailwind, right? And this turn, I went for a Venoshock. Now, I could have gone for a Venoshock right away here, but I just chose to go for Toxic in case it was like a bait swap. Anyway, Whimsicott really served no purpose in this matchup whatsoever, apart from setting up a Tailwind. I mean, what really could they have done? A Moonblast? So in comes John Cena. Wait, I can only see the trainer at the moment. So here we go. We've got the trainer. It's going for apparently a Dynamax here. For some reason, like, you watch this Pokeball, like the Pokeball, here it goes. There's nothing there. So we got this Machamp right now. Machamp's going to be a bit of a problem because if it is a gut set, it probably wouldn't be the greatest move in the world to go for Toxic, right? But I don't know. Maybe it's a no guard set. But here comes a Max Strike from the Machamp anyway. Now, I do take this one, not very well, but I do take it, and it's going to drop my speed. Not that it mattered, because Machamp was always going to be able to outspeed me, right? So instead of the Toxic, I went for Leech Seed there. I thought Leech Seed may come in handy, especially with my Bellossom, right? That could be good. Now, as I can see there, the Machamp is going to actually have the ability Guts because it's got the Flame Orb. So I'm going to get damage from the Leech Seed and the Flame Orb. So at this stage, it was a better move to go for the Leech Seed there. Maybe not so later on in the game, like Toxic would have done a good amount of damage, but since we are both down to our last Pokemon, Machamp's going to be dealing a lot of damage here. I thought the Leech Seed would be better, right? And of course, I can go Max Guard too. Yeah, that'll be some extra damage. So swapping my Bellossom again, this is going to be my weapon for Dynamax. Now, I believe I should be able to leave any of Machamp's attacks here, and I should be able to take it out, right? I'll be able to outspeed it too, right? Now, I cannot go for any Quiver Dance or anything because Machamp will one-shot me easy, like, any fighting type move will be a big, big problem here. So Dynamax Bellossom. Now, I've got to ask this, right? What is under Bellossom's leaves? I was looking for its legs. I was looking for, like, a pair of little pink legs just sitting there, but there's nothing. I don't even know how it works, right? Is it just the head in leaves? Like, someone explain this to me in the comment section. I'd love to know. So anyway, I went for the Max Guard there just to, obviously stall that one turn of G-Max Machamp there, which is great. The Tailwind is now going to go, and Machamp is out of Dynamax, or G-Max. It's really, really good. So I can go for a Max Overgrowth, or I can go for a Max Ooze. It doesn't really matter here. Either move is not going to be able to take Machamp out there, and that does very, very little damage. So my next Max Overgrowth will take out the Machamp here, right? Now, Machamp is going to go for a Close Combat, and Close Combat disintegrates my Bellossom with a critical hit. Oh, man, you wouldn't read about it. And that, my friends, is the third battle. Hope you enjoyed this one. Poor Bellossom getting trolled there at the end by a Close Combat. I still can't see that Pokemon. Thank you for watching the video, people. I'll be back with another theme team or video tomorrow. Peace out.